club. Be the right club today. Yes!
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most!
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Laying Ups Happy Hour, presented as always by the FanDuel Sportsbook, coming to you live from Farmingdale, New York, just down the road from Bethpage Black, host of the 2025 Ryder Cup. My name is Solly. Sitting to my right, Mr. Neil Schuster. Hello, Neil.
Greetings from the Jericho Parkway. Happy to be here. Fired up, feeling patriotic, Randy.
TC is outnumbered on this show. He's converted DJ, but he lost Randy to Team USA. He's going to be fighting for his life here as the lone Team Europe fan on this podcast. Hello, TC.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm feeling
It's
better
all right.
than ever
It's
after these
fine.
pairings, boys.
Yeah,
Get your takes off now. Get your jokes out now.
TC's
I'm not
loving
gonna be
being
laughing at
underdogs
noon
in
tomorrow.
3 of the 4 matches. Hello, Big Randy. Are you happy to see what we've got so far?
I'm ecstatic. Some really intriguing foursomes matches tomorrow morning. Neil, any truth to the rumor Jericho Parkway named after the professional wrestler Chris Jericho?
I don't think so. I think it has more to do with the walls of Jericho.
Okay.
And I don't think they'll be coming down. They'll be protecting this house out on Strong Island.
I thought it was Jericho Cotchery. The old Jets.
You know what? Something for us to research afterwards. Maybe we put Cody on that. What the origins of the Jericho Turnpike? Turnpike Parkway. I might be messing that up. I'm sure we have some folks from Long Island in the comments that can help.
People
me
are
out.
livid in the comments now.
I bet they are.
It's somehow. I just got in last night. I've done my absolute best not to peak too early. It's somehow still been a really, really long week. I spent only today out there on site, and it was almost like too much. There's just nothing going on out there.
Well, a lot of good juice yesterday. A little bit better weather today. It was truly just bad weather. Moody, almost black and white light. They didn't play a lot of golf. It's a big ballpark. It's kind of out and back. Number 10. Number 8 and number 9 tee are the far end of the property, and then it kind of weaves on back to the clubhouse. But it is a striking scene. And TC, I'm just going to get it out now. The infrastructure is impressive from a visual standpoint, and the logistics. I took the Long Island Railroad out yesterday. It was seamless, moving people, a lot of snaking people through gates. Got to hop on a free transfer bus from the Long Island Railroad. I literally didn't stand in line once. Now, you do have to do a lot of walking, but it's just a big flow. And I was very impressed. And then, you walk into the gates and it's almost like a man-made BQE, like elevated highway of just to move people, big wide avenue going through all the Club Magenta, just all the, the merch tent's an acre and a half in size. I heard from one of the guys driving the car. I don't know if that's true, but that's what the guy, it's just the biggest build out I've ever seen. And it's up on this hill. So you're looking out onto the course. And so, visually the first impression is like, American muscle. That was my first impression. Like, wow, how about it? Look,
They've won the build out.
We're building
the build out
again.
Yeah, we're building back better, whatever you want to call it, man. We're making the build out great again. Both sides should be happy. Both sides.
We also
This
learned
should
this week,
be infrastructure week.
It was built on the backs of Europeans, though, as well. We learned that through a European video as well this week. But let's get into the matchup.
Neil, what's your plan though? Are you there out on Long Island for the duration, or will you be taking the Long Island Railway back to Brooklyn?
I'm absolutely staying here. I have no interest because listen, I should have prefaced that. It was Wednesday. It was a practice round. God only knows what that's going to look like getting out of the tournament.
Attendance tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. Secret Service
smooth.
is taking over security tonight. We're hearing. It's going to be a lot once the tournament starts. But I felt like, and I haven't always felt this at golf tournaments. I felt like, oh man, like you've got public and private entities working together. It felt like somebody thought this through, and that's a lot more than I can say about other events I've attended, like at this scale. So I just want to. Nobody would like to criticize the logistics more than me, but I got to call it out. I was impressed with what I saw.
All right, well, we'll see if that lasts through the weekend. And Neil, shout out to your girl, the governor.
Well, I was going to shout that out in the highlights of the opening
wait
ceremonies.
Solly,
yeah,
Please, tonight's happy hour is presented by FanDuel, our go-to for betting all the action as the Ryder Cup heats up on Bethpage Black. Love being in a FanDuel state, by the way. I'll get to some little dabbles I've been making this week. The guys are grinding through one of America's toughest golf courses. They try to keep their dream alive of hoisting up that trophy. And FanDuel's got all the bets to ride the celebration. Head-to-head matchups, player points, day winners, even who will be the one to lift the cup. The app's easy to use. The payouts are fast. Download FanDuel now and make your next bet an ace. You must be 21 or older and present in select states and 18 and older in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
God, playing on the road, this guy still got it, man. Well done. Told you.
Impressive.
Yeah, I do have an issue with the copy though, saying this is one of America's hardest golf courses. It was. It's no longer the way they've set it up.
TC, I would agree with you there. I mean, even I'd call that out with number one, just completely neutered. Change the angle of the tee shot. Sorry, I'm hijacking the show. I'm sorry.
Well, that being said, it's way better for match play to have more birdies.
That's true too.
Again, this is one of those weeks I don't bitch about the golf course unless it is set up for not exciting golf like Le Golf National.
I can't imagine the Nassau Players Club is happy with the setup though. Not my Bethpage
The
Black.
members are furious.
Not my Bethpage.
The Super's going to be resigning if there's.
They
any
truly
birdies
are
in
the
this
members. They have ample opportunity to get their tee times ahead of the general public, right?
They sure do.
Let's get to the matches. They are finally here after much consternation. We are going to go match by match, breaking these down. Match one, Team Europe comes out with Jon Rahm and Tyrell Hatton. They are going to be going up against the fire pairing from the United States, Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas. Neil, what's your reaction to the on the U.S. side?
I mean, this
Had to go Bryson off one.
For sure. I mean, that was a guarantee. If they hadn't done that, that would have been the most disappointing thing of the week. He is so fired up. I was in the press conference earlier. It was almost just kind of, I don't know if he's fallen on the tense or the intense side. Just really, like he's just
gripping it
up,
tight,
man. He's going to try to send it over the corner, opening tee shot. It's going to be theater, Randy. And I know Bryson's your guy, so I got to think you love this.
Complete tone setter of a matchup here. I love it. So much emotion across these four guys. Truly, I think you couldn't ask for a better matchup to get this Ryder Cup started.
It's the most combustible thing I've ever seen.
For sure. And I think it's fascinating because I think both sides are setting out like their tone setters, right? And who's going to actually play well, who's going to capture a full point. Will it, maybe it's a half point each side. I am fascinated by this opening match.
They're both like the combos are like fieriness and bitchiness. It's like,
yeah, that's pretty good.
You know what I mean? It's like Jon Rahm and Hatton, and JT can get super bitchy too. And so
Rahm could get bitchy too.
I mean, this is like 3 Mile Island match here. This is
for sure
unstable compound stuff.
Do you like the Bryson JT? Yeah. I know they were practicing together. Do you like that pairing?
I think I do.
I think I do too.
I've been kind of pumping the Bryson Cam Young thing, but the more I thought about that, the more I thought Cam would be in what's ultimately this third pairing, which didn't work out the way I thought it was going to. We can get to that when we get there. I thought you have like four guys that hit it far, that fit the profile to go off the odd holes, which is, specifically for this format. They have kind of punted on that in that third match, which I found interesting. I thought Cam Young's tools would have been loud enough, Randy, to get a spot in foursomes to start this thing. We'll get to kind of the downstream effect of some of this stuff here in a second, but I can understand not pairing the two of them together for that firepower reason, but I like this pairing. I think it could be really, really fun.
I truly think Cam Young is such a neutral presence, right? And I don't know. I don't know the right answer. Like this is, but obviously JT can get hyped. He can feed off the crowd. He can feed off the energy. But Neil, like you said, like if things go wrong, this could be like a meltdown. I feel like between JT and Bryson.
It seems like Keegan, and based on, we'll get to match 3, but it might be Keegan going with the zinger personality strategy. Because I like these two guys.
Myers-Briggs strategy.
Yeah, the Myers-Briggs theory here, because Cam Young game-wise might pair well, but he, word out there this week is he's not given anything to the New York fans. And the charm offensive from the Team Europe, and I mean, Rory signed like 10 minutes of autographs between 5 and 6, 5 green and 6 tee. I mean, the Long Island fans can be bought with a little bit of autograph payment, Randy. They were absolutely loving the lads.
Lapping it up.
So
are there Long Island lads out there? Or
no, I'm saying they were buying the lads' charm offensive. Okay. Like the European team. They all had their Sharpies in their pockets just ready to go. Like they all stopped and signed for 5 minutes.
They did this in Whistling Straits. They came out with the cheese head hats, and they didn't get to double-digit points as well. So this is the part of the week that Europe always wins, and sometimes they win the Ryder Cup. Always they win it at home. Sometimes they win it on the road. I just don't want to get caught up in the whole thing. The whole thing.
I do like I like both of them. It's kind of thunder and lightning from both of them. I think the Rahm Hatton pairing, the putting. In that one, I really like the putting. In that one, I don't know which JT is going to show up as far as putter wise.
JT Bryson could be nuclear in a bad way. It could be. I think it's.
That's what I mean.
I know. I'll sign off on the play. I'm here for it, but it could be awful for all we know. But I don't know. I got to at least start the week with some faith in Keegan and the assistant captains on kind of what they've put together.
It's a winner for the casual fan. You're sending the heart and the soul of the team out first. Lead the way, boys. Like this is the two guys that Bryson's the needle for the Team USA with everybody out here on site. Anybody I've stopped and talked to, it's like, oh, Bryson.
He is a magnet, man.
He's a magnet.
There's a crowd, just a huge crowd around him on the putting green today just to watch him putt. And I was like, what's the buzz? Oh, it's Bryson. That's literally all it is Bryson just standing there putting, and people were watching it. And
whereas I'm glad that Europe didn't send Rory out. Like, I think Rahm's a good tip of the spear. And then I think Rory is a good, like he's the heart and soul going out a little bit later.
I think if for one, a mistake ZJ made was not having JT in foursomes in some capacity. By the time JT was on the golf course in Rome, they were down 4-0. And like that, he is the one of the few energy guys you have. You got to get him out there early. So the way
I also like
a massive opening match. Like you could make the statement, and I might believe you. Like whoever wins this match might win the Ryder Cup. Honestly, I think it's that.
Oh God, sign me up for that. I totally agree. Like, what happens if Rahm and Hatton go out there and win decisively? You don't really have an energy play left in your back pocket if you're Keegan.
Or you just got to send Bryson right back out and say, all right, Bryson, you're going out with Ben Griffin in 4-ball, or, you got to go right back to the well and hope it works again. One thing I loved, the European Tour social team, of course, doing an awesome job all week. Of course, doing an awesome job. We're already like 2.5 up. It's 2.5 to about a half right now. But I loved the shot that they had of the team watching the pairings coming out.
Like a college.
It was like a draft room or like a college basketball selection Sunday kind of thing. And Rahm and Hatton. It was a very awkward but excited exchange. I think they should do that for all of them. I think that would be fun, even if they're faking it. Like it's just, I love that shit.
Ready for match 2? Ready to move on?
Ready.
I wish that there was of the remaining 3 matches. There's not one that's like, oh, that could kind of split the media group out there. Like everyone's going to be. I want to be at match 1. And everyone's going to be at match 1. I think that's going to suck up a lot of energy. But I think that's
Solly. If like 3 years ago, like today, you told 3 years ago that Bryson and JT are leading off the Ryder Cup together, would you have believed that?
I would not, but I also like what Bryson has turned into. I could not imagine him not being here. Like he is, I really, as much as I respect Brandel, I really was not vibing with the like Bryson's an impossible teammate, a captain's nightmare right now. Like, yeah, probably 2 years ago he would have been. I would think that works, but like real or not, like Bryson's going to be able to do his show and charade enough to get through this week, and everyone won't be sick of him on the US side.
I think it almost takes pressure off of the other guys.
100%. I totally agree.
And to his credit and Brandel's discredit a little bit, like I think Bryson went out of his way to go out to Napa.
Yes.
Go to Atlanta. Just do things. He's like trying to be part of the team. He's talking about that in his press conference. I was like, yeah, he deserves credit for that, man. He went out, like he's got a busy schedule. He's trying to break 50. You know, he went out of his way to be a team player. Come on, baby.
All right. So match 2 is on the European side. Ludvig Aberg and Matt Fitzpatrick against Scottie Scheffler and Russ Henley. We'll start with Europe on this one. TC breaking up Ludvig and Hovland that we saw 2 years ago in Rome. Fitz 1-7 career Ryder Cup record, out second. Now playing in the foursomes. What's your reaction to this one?
I think according to your little data golf tool,
your little toy,
cute little tool,
that thing you keep just spinning around. Your
that
finger.
one spit out. Like I think all of them had some combination of Rory and a couple other guys, and I think this was one of the few that was like Ludvig and Fitz was a clear winner. So I love it. I just love this matchup. I think for both teams, I just think it's a really fun, clean, classy, like this is just good old fashioned golf right here. Scheffler and Henley, just kind of, I don't know, just thoughtful ball striking. Both guys know how to manage the golf course. Ludvig and Fitz, I think they'll gel well together. Both, thoughtful, even keeled guys. I really like this. I think it's going to be a fun one to watch.
This is my boat race alert. I think Scottie and Russ are going to run away with this one. I don't think that Fitzpatrick's
really.
Yeah, I really do. I saw this. I was like, oh man, they broke up Viktor and Ludvig. Yeah, give me all the data that tells me I'm wrong. But I just feel like Scottie and Russ is a formidable pairing. I have been wrong betting against Scottie for like 3 years.
Just ride it, dude.
I think that this is like Scottie. He's not going to let what happened in Rome happen again. I think he's going to be on a mission this week.
I think so too. I do. I like this matchup for the U.S. a lot. I think this is a really, really, really strong team. Again, kind of using the data golf tool to create, like, do a creative. Basically, gives you like a ranking of the skill combined of these two players. Like, assuming Scottie takes the odds, Russell Henley takes the evens. This is the strongest team on the U.S. side. Not the strongest they could have come up with, but it's a plus 2.45 player, which combined is better than the second. Like, that's better than any player in the world not named Scottie Scheffler. Like, that's how good Scottie is, right? And how well they complement each other. Ludvig and Matt Fitzpatrick come up to plus 1.53, so almost a full shot advantage to the American guys. Doesn't sound like a lot over the course of 18 holes match play, but it's a massive advantage. And that's one that, like, match 2 and 3 are, if either side, if Europe can get a halve at minimum out of match 2, or the U.S. could get a halve at minimum out of match 3, that'd be a massive win to either side. Because on paper right now, how that will go is the U.S. will win match 2 and Europe will win match 3.
I think the FanDuel's got each of these up right now. DeChambeau and Thomas are favored plus 110 over Rahm and Hatton at plus 125, and then Ty is plus 600. There's not a line on the board right now yet.
I was waiting for that. For the Scottie one. I hadn't seen it.
Ludvig, yeah.
Russ is a rookie, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does he feel like a rookie?
No.
Played a President's Cup, so he doesn't.
And that's another thing. I know that neither Fitzpatrick or Ludvig are rookies, but this passes the Myers-Briggs test as well. Like that, this is another one where it feels like like-minded personalities. I just feel really good about that U.S. pairing in this matchup. Outside of the data that Solly just put forward, it just feels like a comfy pairing versus like Ludvig and Fitzpatrick don't seem, I don't know, they don't seem as, it doesn't have the same feel to it as the Scandinavian boys, that were vibing out a couple years ago.
I wonder if this is a little bit of the effect of Shane and Sepp not being in the form that maybe they would like. I mean, that was a pairing they rolled out in foursomes, I believe, both times in foursomes in Rome, if I have that right off the top of my head. Not going with either of those guys this morning meant they needed to break up Ludvig and Hovland in some way, is kind of what I would theorize there. And again, the numbers check out on what they chose, like putting Ludvig and Matt and Fitz together, and Bob and Viktor together. Like those look like mathematical good pairings. So, it's a little bit of Europe is hiding, quote unquote, hiding their 4-ish players that are in the worst-ish form into the afternoon, right? They're coming out strong. They're not kind of sacrificing anything in this early phase. I hate to call Morikawa in English like a sacrificial pairing, but it seems like the U.S. has still a little bit of strength in the tank for the afternoon, whereas Europe is laying it out there pretty strong in the early session.
Let's talk the third one, because I think that's really interesting with like, especially Harris seems like a very complimentary player to someone who bombs it and much longer off the tee. And yeah, Collin seems like a very strange bedfellow.
It is it's Rory McIlroy and Tommy Fleetwood against Collin Morikawa and Harris English. It is
this is Team Randy. I mean, Randy, I'd like to get your take on this Team USA pairing. These are your guys.
Apparently, Solly's little tool doesn't like this pairing. From what I understand.
Not only does my little tool not like this, Randy, out of the 132 possible combinations the U.S. could have come up with, it is number 132 on the list.
But Myers-Briggs, they seem similar in personality.
It's so sick.
Here's the defense I will give to this. One, if you're going to have a sacrificial pairing of some kind, you would want it to go up against Europe's best team.
Make it the 132nd.
That worked out good. And you don't have to make it the 132nd combination. But I will say, too, like, you're betting on, like, the numbers that are going into the system, right, for Collin Morikawa are just obviously not been great. Like, he's not been in great form. Like, it's just not going to spit out something great for him. Obviously, over the longer term of his career, like over the last 2-ish years, like Morikawa's record checks out. But so I'm not willing to go only by the book on this and say this is a terrible pairing. It's easy. It's going to be easy to second guess if it doesn't work out. But I thought Morikawa's iron play tool fit the best in this format. I'm just a little surprised they didn't go Cam Young in that spot instead of Harris English. Like, I think there is a distance advantage to be gained. You could have sent a clear message of like, hey, we're sending Bryson off one, we're sending Scottie off one, we're sending Cam Young off one, and we're sending Xander off one, probably our 4 longest hitters. I don't know if that statistically checks out, but 4 well above average driving distance guys. And you kind of let it all fall out from there. This is the only one that doesn't check that box. Again, beginning of the week.
It's an eye test pairing.
It is.
Intangibly rich, TC. Intangibly rich.
Although I don't know how intangibly rich Collin is.
Well, hold on. I want to hear
Collin's
Randy.
The opposite of intangibly
Any reports
rich.
out of Sea Island? Is Harris flushing? Like, what you have to speak on?
It's been quiet.
Brother.
No, it's been quiet out of Sea Island. So take from that what you will.
I don't think he's been in Sea Island in a couple weeks, right?
People don't know if he's flushing or not, Neil. I think that's the biggest problem. Listen, big spot for Collin. Collin, you want to be a big boy? You want to truly be among the world's best? This is a great spot to ball out and show something. I think it's an opportunity. Solly, I think you said it best. When these pairings all came out, I was kind of thinking U.S. really needs to win that second match, and I'm giving this third match like Team Europe really needs to win this one. I think if either of those flip, it'll be a big surprise for me. I don't, you guys have said it. I don't really understand the logic or what necessarily they're trying to do with the Harris English Collin Morikawa, but I guess we find out tomorrow.
And this is where you got to think of the downstream, some of the downstream stuff of this, like Ben Griffin sitting out in the early session, JJ Spaun sitting out in the first session, Cam Young, Sam Burns, obviously all sitting out. Like, is it a golf ball issue with Ben Griffin? Like he plays a max fly ball that nobody else plays. Is that a reasoning behind that? Cam Young,
they want to ride him, right? Like they want to, hey, maybe
he goes remaining
he's a
3
rookie, and then he goes.
Benny Boones might be a solo act. He plays his own ball.
We'll get into that after we get through all the matches too. But why I think it could go really well for the U.S. tomorrow in the afternoon. I have a bit of a theory on that, but we can get to that when we get there. But Rory and Tommy
mentioned Rory and Tommy,
but we know what that is, right? Like that's just like.
Yeah.
Man, if I'm Keegan, if I had to do a sacrificial pair, like this worked out really well for them. I don't think they had to do this, but if they felt like they had to, and if they have a little strategy fallout from that into 4-ball in the afternoon, this is not the end of the world.
I don't think Rory and Tommy are going to play poorly, but if they did play poorly, that would also be a massive feather in the cap of the Americans.
For sure. Big momentum match there.
If say the putters are cold or Rory's too hyped.
God, I cannot wait for this. This is gonna be awesome. I love foursomes, man. It's like foursomes is so much better than 4-ball. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah,
it's so much better than 4-ball.
I love playing it too. I can't believe like more people don't like playing it.
I don't think people don't like playing. I just don't think people play enough golf in general to justify only hitting half the shots when they go play.
Yeah, it's a like
I
like
relate
a
to
low cap problem. You know?
Brady does not want to play.
Low cap, high volume.
Match 4. Big shot Bob MacIntyre. Saw European socials use that name also, TC. Did not. I don't think they officially credited you for that.
No, they got to credit Robert Ory.
Robert Ory. And Viktor Hovland against Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. They're all big matches. This seems like a big match as well. I mean, what are we going to get out of Xander and Cantlay? I feel like the momentum is, that was a more fearsome duo 2 years ago. Cantlay didn't have a great season. Xander just had a kid. Like, what kind of form are we going to get out of those two? Extra perspective, but a little rust. I don't know. MacIntyre moving up into foursomes. He did not play foursomes in Rome in 2023. And Viktor obviously getting split up as well. But Viktor not driving the ball nearly as well as you might hope on a golf course that is emphasizing driving distance. A lot of question marks in this one, guys. I don't know where my head, or I know where my heart goes here, but I don't know where my head goes on what to expect here.
Cantlay versus Hovland reminds me of like the Roys versus Matson in Succession. Like Hovland's just kind of out there doing his own shit.
That is a deep pull and really good, TC. Success doesn't interest me anymore. It's too boring. That sounds like Hovland as he searches for a new swing thought.
I loved his whole thing about nobody can say anything to him, too vitriolic or hostile because the shit bouncing around in his own head is far more.
I can relate to that as well.
He also, I don't know if you saw this deal. He said, but I had great range sessions. I haven't hit it like that on the range in 2 years. It was a bit of a found it moment.
Yeah.
He was trying to convince Shane Lowry last night, I think.
Well, I saw him on 5 Green. He was playing a practice round today with Fitz, and they were doing some swing stuff. It looked like they were, talking about right side collapse and Hovland's always in the lab, man. Just lives in the lab. Holds himself in contempt. Shout out to liar. Like you can't phase me, man. There's bad stuff up here. I love that quote.
Before we get too far and summarizing the morning matches, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Rowback, the crisp polos, subtle dog logo, most comfortable hoodies on the planet. We have teamed up with Rowback and Aaron Hills to give you a shot at a bucket list golf experience. You and a friend will join two of us, two of the NLU crew, for an unforgettable round of championship golf at Aaron Hills. Your overall prize includes that round of golf. It includes a one-night stay in Aaron Hills world-class cottages, a travel credit to get you there, $1,000 in Rowback gear to look and feel your best on the course. Rowback.com/NLU to enter. It takes less than the time of this ad read to do that, and you might end up teeing it up with one of us or with a couple of us on one of the top golf courses in the world while enjoying the best gear out there. Rowback.com/NLU to enter. This is closing soon. If you're the only reason to ever listen to this podcast is before this event starts. So get in there now. Rowback.com/NLU. Costs you nothing. Could get a free trip to Aaron Hills. I'd say that's worth it.
That's a really good package.
It's a fantastic package.
Really
Czar cooked that up. Okay. We put that one together back in July and we're proud of it.
And there's no adventure book, navigating you have to do for the Czar's promo in this one. It's super easy. Just go sign up.
We'll get to at the end of the show. We'll get to another giveaway we did with the haikus. There's going to be a mea culpa there.
Randy, you got the new joint on too. That's one of those new hoodies.
Yeah, it's a little lighter, kind of a
awesome.
Well, I would also shout out a lot of subtle dogs out
in
there
between
today.
piece.
Yeah. So American sitting again: Sam Burns, Ben Griffin, Cam Young, JJ Spaun. European sitting: Shane Lowry, Rasmus Højgaard, Justin Rose, Sepp Straka. Any surprises in that group, TC, of the Europeans that are sitting for the foursomes?
I don't think so. You hit on it earlier with Shane and Sepp as far as them kind of being out of form. I think going back to just like last thing I got to say on that fourth match is I think Bob's a vastly different player than he was 2 years ago, and I think that's a feather in his cap that they're sending him out in foursomes to really, like they were kind of trying to hide him last time around, and I think they're sending him out as part of that opening wave, which is a big thing. I think he's much more of an asset this time around. Not surprised Rasmus is sitting. I think he's a 4-ball specialist, birdie machine. Rosie kind of is too. I think, I would imagine, I'm not sure what kind of form he's in. I would imagine Rosie definitely plays both foursome session or both 4-ball sessions, and we might see him tomorrow morning. But he's also a little old in the tooth, long in the tooth.
And that middle practice group, Rose was supposed to be in it. I don't know if he dropped out by the 5th hole. It was a threesome, so he didn't even make it past 5. If he did tee off with them, I didn't see him tee off on 1. He didn't make it past the 5th hole. So
by the way,
he's rested up. He's getting up there.
Wow.
Did you see the social clip that the wonderful European social team put together? Rosie talking about coffee.
Yes.
I have a tea and then a coffee, then a coffee, then a tea, and I got a little
South
bit of
Americans, African beans. Don't quite like the Italian stuff.
The guy's on another level right now.
He is.
Dude.
Justin Rose, I thought this was interesting. He's either 7, I forget the exact stat, either 7-2-1 or 7-3-1 lifetime in foursomes, and not playing foursomes either in Rome or here as well. I thought we might see him a little bit in foursomes.
It's not to say we may see him on Friday or on Saturday.
Very well could. I guess where I'm netting out on what we're going to see coming off the bench in the afternoon, I feel better about where I don't know, even if it goes 2-2 in the morning, I don't think that's the end of the world for the U.S. We obviously want to see them get off to a hot start, but I would be very surprised if they did not win the 4 balls in the afternoon. I think they are very well positioned with what Europe has coming off the bench versus what they have coming off the bench in terms of strength. I think.
How do you know that Europe has stuff coming off the bench?
Do you think anybody sits all of day one?
I don't know. That's a good question. Also, I'm looking at Rome. Rose sat both foursome sessions.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Rose did not play. They ran the same foursomes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, did not play them in Rome that way either. So captains have most recent captains have iterated like everybody plays day 1 because you got to at least find out what you have in all these guys. If you sit somebody all day 1 and only play them in the afternoon day 2 and they play great, you look like an idiot because where was this guy on day 1? Like it's just an easy way to be second guess. So I would think everybody comes off the bench in the afternoon. If not, that's alarm bells. I think on either side, if somebody doesn't come off the bench, unless somebody's battling health or sickness or something like that, which I think would still be cause for an alarm.
I think I would mortgage my future on Bryson hitting the first shot in foursomes and 4-ball. I think he's going to go out first again in the afternoon. And I think JT would sit and they put Cam Young.
What if you backloaded it with Bryson?
Potentially. I mean, now you're selling me on that.
I think the risk with Bryson going out first is a bunch of people go follow that.
Don't
things
keep
clear out in the afternoon a little bit.
I would say you can question the Fitzpatrick or the Collin and Harris English pairing, but it seems like Keegan he's sitting all his rookies, and it's like, okay, let's
for Henley, yeah.
Except for Henley, but Henley again doesn't feel like a rookie. Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm putting my most experienced guys out first in a format that is the most unfamiliar, and again, it's a home Ryder Cup, big advantage with the crowd. That's kind of the conventional thinking. He's kind of playing it straight down the middle. He's not overthinking this, and I appreciate that.
I am of the opinion though, and I know I've talked about this a lot, and it felt really. First person that I've had confirm this was Trevor Emmelman of just saying like, I think 4-ball is a harder pairing. I really do. A harder. I'm sorry. I think it's a harder format for players. Like you have to be good. You have to be very good. In foursomes, you have to be. Yeah, it's awkward. You're only hitting half the shots, and you have to. It's uncomfortable putting guys in bad spots and recovering and the golf ball matchup. I know that's difficult and challenging, but like, I don't know if I would fear a Justin Rose more in foursomes. Like if you can just kind of, take his skills kind of on the periphery and on the edges versus like, you got to hit every shot and like, you got to make a ton of birdies.
Dude, Rose has been making birdies out the ass.
Really he's been recent. Like he had he had one good tournament near the end of the year, but like his form was just not.
I think he's such a good situational golfer too. Like knows what
I
he
agree
needs
with
to
that.
do. And I think if I would love to see, I would love to see him and Tommy, or I could even see Rosie and Rasmus, like putting the veteran out with Rasmus, calm his nerves, that sort of thing.
And I mean, Sepp traditionally makes a lot of birdies too. Like they have some probably, if I'm looking at the team, some good 4-ball players coming off the bench. Maybe not as good as the U.S. team. I understand your point, but I disagree with 4-ball being To me, it doesn't feel like it's hard. You're asking these guys, go do what you do, go low. Like, yeah, you got to fire at pins, but we've set the course up so that it's going to be a lot of wedges into some of these par fours, starting with number 1.
You know, I'm curious what the historical stats would be on rookies and how they do afternoon in their first match. I am just sitting here wondering, like, if you're a rookie, right, one of these American rookies, I feel like I'd rather just get on with it and almost be in that morning wave of players rather than having to wait around all day. And I know that anticipation and the nerves, I would feel like just build and build. And whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, but it's curious having all those rookies. So I thought the point was well taken. You mentioned in the preview pod about foursomes versus 4-ball and maybe some not quite like just some reverse logic there a little bit, right? That you
cannot hide an out of form player in 4-ball.
Right.
Is the overall point. And I'm not saying all these guys are out of form, but like if you have an out of form player, you're better off trying to hide them in foursomes than 4-ball.
Yeah.
So then
it's curious. I'm not
thing
saying
makes
it's the
more
wrong
sense.
thing. Yeah. But to sit all your rookies and presumably they're all going out tomorrow afternoon. It's interesting. I guess
rookies does not mean out of form, right? I look at Ben Griffin, Cam Young, JJ Spaun. I would say all those guys are in good form. They're just inexperienced.
I would say out of form would be Sepp and Shane is kind of where my eyes are going there. Like that's, and again, like a lot can change.
Of all the guys in the competition, those are the only 2 guys that are out of form.
Of the guys on the bench coming in for the afternoon, I think are guys that are out of form. That's what I'm saying. Like coming off the bench for the U.S. in the afternoon is guys in form. I think Morikawa and somewhat JT are some of the guys that I'm worried most form wise. They're out in foursomes. And I think the U.S. is teed up to be really strong in the afternoon. Is my
I think we could see. I mean, I guess some of it just comes down to how many guys you think play 5. Does Rahm play 5? Does Ludvig play 5? You know, I think it's a betting favorite that Rory is. Yeah, it's a big walk. But I don't know. I think Europe's chances hinge on Ludvig being a much better player than he was 2 years ago. Just much more complete golfer, and likewise with Bob. And then I think Viktor's got to be a big dog. And then I think it's on the U.S. side. I think Morikawa's got to be Morikawa, and then Xander's got to be Xander. Yeah,
100%. Anything else on those matchups? On any of that?
I'll just say, just to piggyback on that, Tron. I think bit of I know Scottie had a good Ryder Cup in 2021, but man, he just not getting a win in Italy in 23. Like I think there's low key like, yo, Scottie, you need to go out and get some wins over the next 3 days. So I looked at him too as like, I know we're all expecting him to play really well, but he's actually got to do it.
Randy, I agree with that completely, but I've been on the wrong side of that. Of like, oh yeah, like I kind of believe in the big homie right now.
There's nothing making me not believe. Yeah, it's just like it's a little bit of pressure of like, we're all expecting you to play well, and now you need to go out and actually do it.
If this helps, Randy, the 2023 catastrophe, 1 was ZJ, and 2, like that was during his really rough putting phase, like pre-mallet. Like he was in a mallet maybe 5 months later. And in 2021, he was a really good putter. Like he hadn't won yet, or maybe he had just won. I forget when he got his first win. But he was like an up and coming player, and he was a really good putter in 2021, and played really, really good golf at Whistling Straits. So like this is the most complete phase we've seen Scottie in a Ryder Cup.
Right? Like he hadn't been saved by the claw yet.
That's true.
And the mallet.
And you of all people know what that's like.
Which Sully, makes that match too. If it goes Team Euro's way, it's like, yeah.
Sully, any concerns with the Collin, Xander Cantlay pairing coming back? Of like they went 0-2 in Rome. I know they went up against McIlroy and Fitzpatrick McIlroy and Tommy the first session, and then the Saturday morning session they went against Rahm and Hatton. So they went against 2 of the stronger pairings, but any surprise or consternation about firing that one back up, the Buddies Club?
I think I'd still do that. This version of Cantlay has been the weakest version of Cantlay we've probably seen as a pro, which is not ideal. And like we saw how it worked with Spieth having a kid right right before this, Xander had said he put the clubs away for a while. He was surprised how good he was hitting it. He got that, that surprise comeback golf
honeymoon phase.
The honeymoon phase
Let's
already
go.
happened. That's not a good thing.
Did you learn this on the X app?
No, it hasn't been updated since May.
Okay, so I was hoping we'd get some inside intel on the X
The nothing app.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't feel overly. I mean, we'll find out, man. I mean, that's one of those that like
interesting.
It's going to be great to find out. You can. I don't know, the form thing. There's some interesting stats I want to get to later on, just about like so many of the tropes and the narratives that are built around this event. How some check out and some most certainly don't. Data Golf did a pretty amazing deep dive into all this stuff going back to like 1983, I think, on it. And it's all very interesting. Experience does not matter, especially on the U.S. side. Experience does not matter. Like it's proven to be a negative factor, honestly. Of the more experienced you are, the worse off you are, and the home field advantage is just very real. Like it increases.
Sully, is there some noise there where they may have taken some guys for their experience, even though they were out of form? Where it was almost a self-fulfilling thing, like they're taking guys in poor form, but because of good experience.
Almost certainly. That's the thing. It was like, oh, you need to take a guy with experience. Well, it doesn't even check out that experience is a good thing. Winning a tournament during the year of as much as we talk about everything changes when you win, like winning a tournament does not correlate to you winning points in the actual Ryder Cup. Like it's crazy, but we got some slides.
On the flip side though, experience for like an informed dude could be, that's the ultimate combo, right?
Could be very much. I would think so. It doesn't mean if you're experienced, you're going to play horribly. It's just like that shouldn't be breaking any ties. Is the overall.
That's
point.
TC's Magic Quadrant.
Couple of quotes of the week. Opening ceremony highlights. Luke Donald. He's very keen on hammering home this money thing. The European media has gotten a clear message as well. Need to ask the U.S. players as much as possible about how they're all donating $500,000 to charity. All 12 of them donating it. How that's the worst thing in the world, and how the Europeans are fueled by something money cannot buy. And it's not about prize funds. It's or world ranking points. It's just a really noble message that the Europeans are putting across. And it's just, just Europe won up.
Solid. This one's got you all riled
up. Anything about it.
Solly's been riled up about this all day. He's like, he's only captain because 4 guys who's all about the money. All the other captains are gone.
He literally is the captain because Henrik Stenson went and got the live bag, and he's captain again because Poulter also went and got the live bag.
But it's not those guys, Solly. The guys that are here, they're in it for
the boys, not the guys, the boys, Neil.
Yeah,
the boys.
Just also noting, those guys left to just go finish. The Majestics were 11th out of 13 teams. Again, not important to this story, but I just wanted to mention that part of it as well. John
Seve
Rahm
would have never taken the money.
Seve missed a Ryder Cup because of a debate over appearance fees on the European Tour. John Rahm left the European Tour for live, goes and sued them to go play on it, and refuses to pay the fines to support the DP World Tour as well on top of all of this. So yeah, I lose me over the money stuff and the self-righteousness.
He's not paying the fines because he's donating his money to the European Tour anyway.
How's he donating the money to the European? He won't pay them. Like that's what he should be doing. He's getting fined every time he plays.
Because all the money's just going to the DP World Tour anyway. They don't have to give him a stipend or anything like that. They're just keeping it.
Just miss me with all the money stuff. They've very clearly tried to rally around this, and I think they shot the load too early on this.
I miss it. It seems like it's hitting you directly in the eyes.
It's everywhere.
Well played by Luke Donald.
It's all they're doing. It's all they're doing. We're not letting him get away with it. We're not letting you get away with it. The
money's everywhere.
Gone too far.
I saw Jeff Shackelford tweeted something, or it was on his Instagram story. I saw the PGA of America is charging people $20 to check a bag, or to check merchandise that they just bought, overpriced merchandise that they just bought in the merchandise tent, the 1.5 acre merchandise tent. $20 unless you're a Citi card holder. Neil, does that sit right with you as the merch czar? I mean, the green jackets have to just be cackling.
That doesn't sit right with me, but they were clever with the the tickets were very expensive, but then it's free concessions, and that kind of leaves a nice final impression. Not beer, but like you walk in and you grab an Italian sausage. Now then you start doing the math. You're like, I guess that was like a $115 Italian sausage, but it is a magical experience. You just go grab whatever you want and walk out. I need a water. You don't have to stand in line, and it's a better.
Are people just stuffing their pockets? Is it like a free for all, or
no? That's the thing, because like that's how it works. You're like, oh, well, I just had an Italian sausage. I don't need another one. Like I want to go, like I was on my way somewhere. So it's really smart. And but then it's like, all right, that's
Do they
kind
have
of even
Dippin'
more of a
Dots?
rip off. I didn't see any Dippin' Dots, no. But this Italian sausage was very good.
Huh. What's the crowd like? It was
tame. There's a good amount of Europeans. Not as loud as I thought during the opening ceremonies. I mean, the loudest anybody got was just the governor, Kathy Hochul, getting booed off of Long Island. I mean, truly just booed out of Bethpage and off the island. Get out of here with your surge pricing. I mean, just really not
surge pricing. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think it's that. I think it's a lot of things.
I'm pro surge pricing.
I mean,
probably a lot of stuff, but
that was pretty epic. And Carson
get
Daly's
Eric
hosting.
Adams out
Carson
there?
Daly handled it really well, though. He kept being like, if you guys don't get loud, I'm going to bring the governor back out here. I mean, he was clowning her once she walked off
Didn't he
stage.
say,
it was
relax.
righteous.
It's not Roger Goodell. Relax.
Yes, he did say that. He's like, God, it's not, at least not Roger Goodell. Like, I mean, he was holding court up there. So, yeah, that was the loudest the place got yesterday.
Neil, do you think we'll see Eric Adams out there this week?
Oh, TC, for you,
Cuomo?
I hope so. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Morikawa did call the environment so far, quote, kind of tame. He said, I hope Friday is just absolute chaos. I'm all for it. I think it feeds into who we are and the American players and the American team. We want it. Like, we want to use that to our advantage. Felt like that was
the guy who won a major with no fans at Harding Park, and then
don't
not
grasp.
his fault.
It's such a
That's
grasp.
not his
What are you?
fault.
It's too early for the grasping.
That's
TC and Dottie.
DC.
Love that one.
It's Thursday, man. You don't have to reach back that far for that one. Come on now. I'm surprised this hasn't been used as maybe it has been. I've not been spending time on the Everything app of like, this is going to point back. This is going to be one of those things where it's like, look at the rhetoric from the American players. Like they're trying to rile the crowd up to harass the Europeans. Be prepared for that one to come out.
Running around with the flag today on the green. Running on the green? Are you
don't
serious?
do that. He calls himself a man of God.
Just disgusting jingoism.
Did you see Keegan was letting his kids hit putts out on the golf course, TC?
Really?
What do you think of that?
Kerry Haig, he's lost control. The inmates are running the asylum.
Would you be against all players allowing their kids to hit shots out on the golf course during the practice round at the Ryder Cup?
No, absolutely.
I don't think there should be any kids anywhere near the Ryder Cup.
I was trying to walk you into that
trip.
one. It was actually Tommy's kid that was out there hitting shots, and I was trying to rope you into that one. But you probably knew that.
Well, it's also Frankie. Frankie's like a certified flusher.
He's trying his hardest.
like would I let Freddie and Goose out there? No, absolutely not. Like they're morons.
What else we got? You guys want to get to some plays of the week and whatnot? Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our friends, of course, at BMW. Set us up with this amazing location here to get to and from the Ryder Cup as well. They support so much of our Ryder Cup content. We needed a really good location to be able to zip over from the course to get back here to do live shows all week. So an eternal shout out to BMW for that. Gave us a great ride to be able to do that. And they're just a global partner of the Ryder Cup, global partner of ours. They're providing vehicles for Team USA, Team Europe, Ryder Cup officials, everybody this week. So shout out to them. They do great things in the game of golf.
Yeah, we're taking this shit global, TC.
And they're not even asking for credit for it, but we want to go out of our way to give them credit for it because they do a great job of teeing us up for the best content we can produce. Live odds as of the time of us going live here on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. The U.S. was minus 145 as of this morning. Europe was plus 165. The tie was plus 1,000. That moved after the pairings came out to U.S. minus 155. I don't know if it has moved since we started this show, but just found that somewhat interesting. It is now down to minus 150, Europe plus 170, and a tie plus 1,200. I submitted a couple plays here. Again, getting into a betting state where I can make this happen. One of my favorite plays is, let's see, I forget exactly the order I submitted these. This is Bryson at the opening ceremony. Is looking like he's running on a presidential campaign. Some fun ones, TC. I had 3+ tied matches on day 2 plus 3,500. 3 out of 8 matches coming to 18 get tied. Some really, really long odds on that one.
So it's 3 or more?
Or 3 or more tied matches on day 2. I got Cantlay over 2.5 points, 2.5 points or more at plus 120. I feel like he's going to play a lot of golf, probably at least 4 sessions, if not 5. I like his chances to get at least 2.5 points. There was I got Ben Griffin versus Justin Rose. I got Griffin over Rose minus 102. I think we're going to see Ben Griffin play 3 team sessions. I would bet he comes out in foursomes tomorrow morning. And I think I just like his chances of getting more points than Justin Rose. So I think is at minimum only going to play in the 4 balls and singles, obviously. I have USA beating Europe 16-12 exactly, plus 1,100. And then my favorite and my number one and my biggest wager that I put out there, I have US to win foursomes at plus 105. They have won foursomes every single year of the last 4 Ryder Cups by a wide margin. There's something to the way home team, we talked about this on the preview, the way home teams have absolutely dominated this format. And I think that continues this week enough to the point where they win it overall for the week. So they just got to get to 4.5 points in foursomes between the 2 sessions. And I think they're likely to do that. And that's my favorite play of all of them, plus 105.
So it's interesting. There's last go around, there was only 3 halved sessions
The whole time.
Friday and Saturday, and they were all during Friday
afternoon.
Football.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for those half sessions. I get to
18.
Yeah, get these people something to watch coming through the Ghost City, 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Neil, what's that look like?
It's
like
massive.
Build out. Where's it at? Is it
so
at
there's number 1, and then you go under, or the players go under a road out to 2 through 14, and then 15, 16, 17, and 18. So those 5 holes are on the like inner side, like the clubhouse side of the road. And that's kind of where the majority of the build out is. And then there's some scattered, stands and some activations out farther, on the outer part of the course. But that is like the arena. You got looking out from that big, massive grandstand above 1T and 18 green. You can see the hospitality city that they put together, like straight out, and you're up on this hill. So it's again, very visually striking. You think about how funny it is to invest all that into a format where it's like they might not make it there. Like odds are like 50% of the matches wouldn't make it to 17. It's just wild. So I'm rooting for your have play there, Solly.
What do you think of the overall like first tee setup?
Solly's mad as hell.
We talked about this, and my immediate reaction when I went up and sat is like, man, this is crazy engineering that they put this up. It's going to fit a ton of people, which is great. Everybody's going to have a view like of the opening ceremonies. There's a lot of good viewing spots for that tee shot, but the opening ceremonies are like down below the first tee. So that hill is all grassy, so people can watch stuff on TV there on the big screen. I think it's going to look awesome in pictures. They're going to get so much good Instagram porn out of this, but it's not going to be as loud. There's no Coliseum effect. So I worry you're not going to feel it quite as much as an attendee, but I think it's going to look great on TV, and it's going to look great in promotion. And that's a win of some kind. It's just, it might not be quite as like what you felt at Hazeltine or in Rome. I feel like
felt like again, I don't know the logistics of how to do that, but it felt like they could have boxed it in more like to the right of the tee. Like everything's just behind, right? And you're right next to 18 green right there. So in the whole same grandstand spans across 1T and 18 green. And so like some people are going to be watching the opening tee shot from 18 green, and you have a clear view, but you're not like on top of the tee. You're not, there on the opening. It feels like you're on a different hole, really.
2 other things I would add to that. One, because everything comes out and back on 1 and 18, I feel like they did that intentionally to spread people out, to get them out to the golf course. And 2, there is a very noticeable that all the rope lines and even these grandstands are set very far back from the players. I think the closest I saw was like behind 6T. There's a private spot behind 14, like 13 and 14, but there's not a lot of places where the fans are going to be very close to the players. And I think that is maybe planning for like, the New York, the Long Island fan. Like it feels very conscious that they're keeping fans like in the rope line back, and the grandstands feel that way as well. They're probably 20, 30 yards back from the 18th green.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's a thing. Like, I don't know if I like it or don't like it. I would probably like to be closer, and I'd like it to feel like more like a Coliseum, make these guys, feel the energy a little bit more, but they're also going to fit a lot more people into that general arena. So maybe that cancels it out.
Yeah.
What's the big screen situation? Are there big
Good
jumbotron?
screens, mainly again on that inner part of the course. So you got the big stage and the biggest screen for everybody in that 18 and number 1 grandstand looking down on that. So you could sit there all day and like watch golf if you wanted to. And then they have a couple TVs, or probably 3 scattered between 15, 16, and 17. And then I didn't really see any TVs out on the other side of the road. I'm sure that's a cable nightmare to get, to power those things and sync them all up. I mean, it's unbelievable. I truly like the investment in the build out, like
for 3 days of golf.
Like Randy, I know you're laughing. It's like in my head, I'm
no,
like,
I know what you mean.
Like,
it's so much.
And for all this stuff, it's like, man, they might not even play golf on this hole tomorrow. Like, fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I just think it's amazing too. The 4 days of lead up with practice rounds, like practice rounds in this thing, just those days truly feel like such a farce. Like I feel bad that anybody spent their money on practice round days.
Practice round tickets to a major would be really good. Like really, like you can see so much. You can soak up the major championship atmosphere, see all the players. There's so many players
out there.
Ryder Cup practice round tickets are not worth it. There's just nothing going on. Unless you're a big fan of the celebrity matches. There's just not. Randy, I know you would like that.
I
Team US, one up.
Yeah, Draco
Hell
Malfoy got. But it sounds like Catherine Zeta-Jones played really well, TC. So
love that.
What do you have any plays you want to?
I do, and I picked these before the pairings were announced. But my first one is 1.5 points or less for Collin Morikawa. I'm fading him, just plus 100. I have John Rahm, top European point score, plus 430. I do think that if anybody goes 5, I think it's going to be Rahm, and I just feel like he's got something to prove. I feel like he might feed off of this crowd in a good way for him. I've got John Rahm and Tommy Fleetwood each to win their singles match at plus 270. I feel good about that. I think Cameron Young will be the top overall rookie. There's no, is Rasmus a rookie?
Yes.
Yes. So there is a rookie on the European side. So plus 260. And then I have Bryson DeChambeau as the top USA point scorer at plus 650. I feel like that'll just be fun to root for.
Yeah.
And then last, I have the US over Europe, 15.5, 12.5 at plus 1,000, and the USA to win at minus 155. That's my prediction, Big Randy. You got anything cooking?
This was several days ago after I went through my rigorous who am I going to root for exercise. I put a little of my hard-earned dollar bills on Team USA just to lift the trophy, Neil. That's all.
There you go.
I like that.
You have a points prediction? Do you think it's going to be close?
I think I said on Tuesday show, I like that 15.5. Excuse me, 15.5, 12.5. I'll ride with you there.
Easy, big guy. Don't get so excited. Hey, guys, FanDuel provided me with a little bit of additional data. This is where the money's going so far. So according to FanDuel, our partners there, of course, 49% is going to Team USA to win the Ryder Cup, 43% to Europe to tie. 8%.
I kind of want to be with the tie. I want to meet the people that bet on the tie. That's fun. I might throw a nugget or two on that. That's good stuff.
So most bet on player points is Ben Griffin over 1.5 points, JJ Spaun over 1.5 points, and Patrick Cantlay over 2.5 points.
Under 2.
Or under.
I don't want to be. I want to fade the public. This makes me feel even better. That's fun.
Top USA point scorer, 38% going to Scottie, JJ Spaun 8%, Justin Thomas with 9%, and top Euro Tommy.
Wow.
Over Rory at 15 and Viktor
TC
at 13.
must have logged his bet this morning.
I'm shocked that
TC's moving markets.
Bryson's not getting more love on the US side.
I am too.
TC,
that's surprising.
By the way, the second match is now on the board as far as odds go. Scheffler and Henley minus 150 over Ludvig and Fitz. We're plus 200, plus 600 for a tie. I put some together earlier in the week that were I'm going to get deep on the college football and NFL, like probably Saturday, Sunday matchup plays once pairings are announced on Friday night, on Saturday night. But I did Georgia minus 2.5 plus Harris English 1.5 points or more. little two-leg
A
parlay.
little dogs parlay.
Subtle dogs parlay.
TC's got storyline. He's got narratives in his plays
I've got a
right
Green
now.
Bay Packers -6.5 over the Cowboys, paired up with 2 points or more for Viktor Hovland. Because Viktor just reminds me of Jordan Love. I just can't figure either of them out, and they're both, just kind of volatile and prone to doing some weird shit from time to time. So that's a 2 plus 226. And then I just had some crazy ones. 2 points or more for Ludvig, parlayed with Texans -7.5, Rams -3.5, and Ravens -2.5. I was almost plus 1,000 there.
Guns
I got
up,
Sam
TC.
Burns plus 2 points or more, combined with the LSU money line over Ole Miss. And then Tommy 2.5 points or more, and Collin 1.5 points or less.
Wow.
I don't think you can parlay that one, though. And then I had one for you guys. Reds lost last night, unfortunately. So you probably get much better odds at this point. But I said Reds to make the playoffs, Europe to win the Ryder Cup, and Ludvig, top continental European point scorer, plus 300.
Reds won today.
Ludvig won.
Noel V. Marte robbed a home run to keep them ahead. Which how have we not talked about that yet, right now?
Also, Sally, I love the
Dream lives.
the spreads, like
betting on the point
Europe
spreads
to win by like Europe +2 or Europe -2. Like they're
I might take Europe to cover like 3, just as a hedge of everything. Like if it just all goes wrong, at least I got one little thing out there. But the FanDuel has amazing markets for this week. Please check them out. I had way too much fun following those. I like following it just throughout halfway through the first session. Like it's going to be line movement. Like just what is everything we've seen? What does that mean for the likelihood of the winner? I think it's just really valuable information, more so than like a stroke play event on halfway through a Thursday. So any other big nits and bits that stuck out to you guys the most of any news items for the week, or anything that we got to close the book on? TC, I know you're a big fan of the white sneakers with suits that the U.S. team was wearing.
God, guys. I mean, that was even tackier than the merchandise, the $20 to check merchandise you just purchased.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw the Euros catching some flack for not wearing ties to the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony should be more casual cocktail attire versus the big gala dinner. Like that's a freaking black tie affair. I think that's the formal one.
What if you get blisters from the dress shoes? Like, you want to make sure that U.S. players stay comfortable. That's good captaining.
Yeah. No, I mean, they had great fits. They looked awesome. Tommy's hair looks better than ever this week. All that. So, Randy, anything for you on that front? Just all the festivities?
No, I mean, I always enjoy looking at the pictures of people all dressed up. No, not. I mean, TC. Believe me, I defer to you when it comes to fashion and what should be formal and not formal.
Keegan was white shoes are garish.
Keegan said the Ryder Cup has become personal for me in 1999 at Brookline. I was 13 years old, perched on my dad's shoulders, watching Justin Rose's miracle putt drop on 17. Tough Freudian slip there.
Well, also, I mean, 13.
His chest out.
I mean, that's pretty old to be on someone's shoulders too.
Yeah, that is. That's a good.
That's
point.
a great point, Neil. Yeah.
Wow. Is this like a Brian Williams?
Well, it sounded like both speeches kind of had the same opening, and like distinguished guests. I felt like maybe there was a speechwriter doing both of them as a bit of a Mad Lib. All right, like I just need you to fill in some personal stuff here and here. And we're good to go.
A lot of AI, very AI-ish going on. One cool thing Keegan has done, good rare W on the social side for the Team US is getting Larry Nelson involved in the team room, bringing him in this week, and kind of surprising him with that. Like that showed a lot of Nelson famously went 5-0 in a Ryder Cup, had one of the greatest Ryder Cup records of all time, and has never been a captain of the U.S. side, despite he was he served the U.S. military as well, and that was just a cool thing that has me starting to believe a little bit more in the Keegan captaincy. But
couldn't agree more. I thought that was a nice thing from Keegan. Nice little video they put together. Like that was a dub in the U.S. category on that side. Has it ever been explained? Like, did he just get lost in the shuffle on the captaincy front, or has anybody ever just really told that story of like what happened? Because you would think a guy like
just been like
Arnie
a thing, like,
or Jack even would have said, "Hey, you know what? What's going on here? Like Larry Nelson needs to be in this," or or Hale Irwin or Ray Floyd or one of those guys just speaking up and saying, "Hey, man, like this ain't right."
Don't know. I disagree with the notion that like just because he had a great Ryder Cup record, he would have been a great captain. I don't know a darn thing about Larry Nelson and what his leadership capabilities would be. I think it's been lazy just to say like, oh, he went 5-0 in a Ryder Cup. How was he never captain? Because to your point, TC, I don't know the real story behind as to why he was bypassed, right? There could be very bad reasons why he was bypassed. The Ryder Cup record thing doesn't necessarily translate for me.
No, totally. I get that, but also like he played in 3 Ryder Cups.
Yeah.
He's a complete gentleman by all accounts.
Right.
Like, growing up in Atlanta, he's a Georgia guy. Like growing up in Atlanta, like you would always hear all the Larry Nelson stuff. And yeah, he just seemed like, I don't know, just a good dude. So
TC, I got a question for you. Speaking of leaders that were on the ground, did you see the clapper out there? What do you make of
well, I didn't see the clapper, but the clapper, within a span of about 20 minutes, I had 5 different people reach out with DMs, pictures, texts, the clapper on site. I guess he accosted Scottie asking for a selfie. And but he was also gracious with people taking selfies with them. So not sure who his handler is. Looked like he had some VIP treatment though. Not sure if Jack is out there or Maria or
Rodney.
any of the other Rodney, Coach Dungy, any of those other ones. But the clapper was sure out there. It looked like a pig in shit.
I'm going to give you guys, I teased this a little earlier about the Data Golf deep dive into kind of some winning factors. If you'll allow me for a second, just indulge me for a second. I kept it past the hour mark here of really diving into the data. And they had a great blog post on their website that kind of just breaks down a bunch of just diving into some things like, again, a lot of people always say blah, blah, blah. Experience matters in the Ryder Cup. Blah, blah. What does home field advantage actually mean? This mysterious Team Europe thing or whatever this culture thing, what does it actually contribute to their opportunity or their percentage chances of winning the Ryder Cup? And they put data behind all this stuff. So first of all, if you have the slides, Cody, the first thing that they look into is the home field advantage. And basically they conclude that it gives you an 8% chance, higher chance of winning a Ryder Cup if you play it at home. The breakdown they did is actually a breakdown of the average data golf rank of who has been the best teams, who are the best teams, and what is the result of these teams. This is the second best team since 1983 that has been put on paper of any of the teams. That is Team US. Now it is very easy to see the 4th best, the 5th best, the 6th best, and the 7th best teams ever in this format were also American teams that also went on to lose the Ryder Cup. So all that to say, obviously, being the best team on paper does not necessarily translate to winning it. But the best team ever was the 2021 U.S. team that won. The 3rd best team ever was the 99 Brookline team that won by the skin of their teeth. This is the average data golf rank on the U.S. side of 12.6, marks the 2nd best team that's been put in.
So you got to poke a hole in that,
of course,
a little bit. Of just this is just straight off. This isn't like a aggregate strokes gain or anything like that. This is just
average rank of the players, right? So one high rank.
You have an outlier or two. Yeah.
The best European team was in 2010 at Celtic Manor. That team won. All of the European teams that show up on this one
But then on the flip side, I do think that the U.S. probably isn't getting proper credit for Scottie as well,
right? Because being that much better, that's exactly right.
Being washed out too.
The average on average, the U.S. players are expected to be 0.31 shots better per round than the European players, which is a pretty sizable gap. It may not sound like it, but is pretty sizable. Yet there's a lot of random variation that that could, you could lose a hole by 3 shots and that would get eliminated, right? So it's a lot of noise in that. But if you allow me to continue. I think they look at home field advantage is worth 8% win probability, which is massive. That is a massive shift. That's essentially like putting 1 to 2 points on the board from the jump, having home field advantage. If you can go to the next slide, Cody. The next one, this was just the team factor, just the straight up the U.S. throws the home field advantage back to the field by just having shitty team diagnostics, and Europe like basically gains 4% and gets like 4% more out of all of their players, which is just a remarkable.
Do you mean this by like pairings as teams, or like the 12-man team? Like they have better
team
chemistry.
They have better chemistry.
Well,
they
how
get more out of it.
are we measuring the intangibles here with data? Like, how does that?
They're trying to identify
They play above
Have
their.
we quantified the eye
They
test?
play above their skills.
Okay.
Yes.
This feels eye test. This feels like hashtag teams.
And they get
This
more
is like the
out
special
of
teams effect.
What
they
would
get
be
more
the
out of their
special
best
team for the
players.
Ryder Cup?
They get more. The last one there, if you're
Sorry.
a positive strokes +1 strokes gained player, they get way more out of their best players. Right. That's been going back to Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, all the best players that have played been on the American side for many years have not performed well in the Ryder Cup, and that is checked out by the numbers.
Randy, I would say that foursomes are teams. 4-ball is offense, and singles is defense. Defense wins championships. You got to protect that house.
I have to think about that a little bit. Yeah,
That's a great
Work on
first pass. I'm gonna chew on that one a little bit, Neil.
Yeah, but I mean, fight me on it. Seriously, I just pulled that
No,
out of my ass.
What was it, Neil? Foursomes is what?
Foursomes is teams.
I
Because
agree.
It's kind of
100%.
Yeah.
it's the most unfamiliar.
I think you might have nailed it.
I think you could say 4-ball. It might be defense, and singles is offense. Like
You
if
could,
you're gonna come
I'm
and
here
come
for
back,
it.
yeah.
You know, think on it, chew on it.
So if you go to the next slide, Cody, this one got me the most. As much as experience is touted, basically, especially for on the American side, experience has the most. If you've played over 10 matches, the win probability you've added is actually a negative. Like you are hurting the U.S.'s chances of winning by 3%. On the European side, it's a slight advantage, but it's basically all to say like a lot of the most experienced U.S. players, the boys club, if you will, the more experienced you are, the less likely you are to help the U.S. win. It's a young man's game. I've long said that. The next
we got to remember this for 2027 in the lead up, and
right
when we're talking about who should be on the team. Yeah,
Remember this. You got to remember the Alamo.
yeah, that's right.
there's also if you've won in a current year, you are less likely to be adding to the win probability. If you're American, you're slightly more likely if you're European. But so yeah, that again, this could be exposing a little bit of a flaw in the point system of like having it be overly weighted towards wins. You can end up with players that aren't as strong of players, but they got in because of a win. It's the trope is like if you've been able to stand up to the pressure in a stroke play event, you're going to do great in the Ryder Cup. Does not check out. And also the hot hand most definitely does not check out on the American side. If you're over a stroke gained over the past 3 months coming into it, you are bad at golf in the Ryder Cup for whatever reason. So if you're
wiped out, right?
Would you call that the Kiz or the Horschel?
Sully, did this surprise you in all honesty? Because I feel like this might go against some of your team making philosophies.
What team making philosophies are you referring to there?
Well, I guess the hot hand specifically. You know, you're talking about. Well, I guess you're more of a. Yeah.
Oh, he hates the hot hand.
Yeah,
put him on the team. Put him on the team.
I wonder how much of that is just weighed down by like Tiger not having a good Ryder Cup record.
It can be. It's the whole post is worth checking out. I'm kind of breezing through it and summarizing it, but actually putting some data behind some of these things that we often refer to, I thought was interesting fodder. Well, most certainly won't get to that over the next 3 nights. The data, if I one more shout out for Data Golf, the live blog they keep going throughout the week is just full of interesting nuggets like this on repeat, and that's where all that foursomes 4-ball stuff came out of as well. That is just well worth monitoring throughout the course of the week. But Neil, I think you get a lot of questions out there. Hey, you've been out there, you checked out the golf course. Yeah. I'm going to the Ryder Cup this week. What should I do? Where should I go?
Well, what made me think of some nice blokes and some of the boys stopped us on the way in today. Hey, we're just listening in the car. And I'm like, all right, well, top 5 power rank, my top 5 places to watch golf. Walked the whole course the last 2 days. I want to shout out Shane Ryan, the Golf Digest, because he wrote a nice piece counting down the top 10. I have some, I have some differences with his list. For the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to skip the obvious spots like the grandstand behind one and some of the vibe spots. And if you can't get into hospitality, and then 16, 17, 18, like good spots to watch golf there if the golf makes it there. Right. But if you want to see golf, and that's what I get a little frustrated about with this event is it's like you got to work. And if there's a payoff, it's great. So I think these are the top 5 spots to set up a payoff. The first,
before you even say that, if you're going and you want to see golf, just set your expectations low. Have your expectations coming in to be, I'm going more to be a part of the Ryder Cup environment more than I am going to see a lot of golf shots. That helps a lot. I think that really does help a lot in terms of your expectations.
The way the course is routed, kind of out and back, it does kind of turn around itself between 9, 10, 11, and 12. There's a lot of places where you can watch multiple holes in that little section. But first, 5, inside the dogleg on number 9. You can get up under the trees. So if it's hot, you got a little bit of shade. That's another factor. If you can get up on the rope line there, that's going to be at the far end of the property.
Like?
I haven't
better. It does not look wet over the next several days. So
is it gonna be hot or just kind of nice?
Warmish, upper 70s, but not high of 76 on Saturday, high of 78 Friday, high of 77 on Sunday. Maybe
it's dry.
But it was humid the last couple of days. So, you get up there and I think you're going to get rewarded if you want to walk back to 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where you're going to, but it's a hike. So if you get back there, I say inside the dogleg on 9, they moved it's a new tee way back in the trees. And so there's, I think 3 or 4 of these guys from what I was hearing yesterday can take it over that left bunker. So you can watch that shot from inside the dogleg. And then you have a good view of watching approaches into the green from both, like if they don't carry that bunker or if they do. So that's spot 5. Number 4, behind or the left side of 3 green. Another like corner of the property. Number 2 is kind of, I think that's a boring hole, but 3 is a cool par 3. You can watch him hit into a skinny green that kind of sits, perpendicular, diagonal to the tee. And if you stand there on the left or kind of behind, there's no grandstand or anything back there. There's no bathrooms. There's no services. It's kind of a corner of the property that's a bit of a dead end. And then you can look straight down 4, which is probably the most well-known hole on the course. And you can watch him hit tee shots off of 4. So I thought that was a little nook that I took note of. And then my 3rd spot behind or right side of 8. This is where I'm probably going to go tomorrow. The problem here is there's only 1 point of egress on both of those spots. The right side of 8, they cut that like famous tree down. So the hole's, not as cool as it used to be for me visually. But you can sit on that hill and you can watch kind of the full hole as those guys roll through all 4 groups. And then behind 8 is probably a little bit better. But again, you're going to get trapped up in there. But they're going to be hitting tee shots from 9, like right over your head. So if you can get a good spot behind 8 green, that can be a place where you watch all of the action at 8, and then you can watch them tee off on 9. I think behind 5 green or just in that area, or like in the grandstand behind 12. So you can see 5 green, 12 green are right next to each other. And then you have 6 tee, which is probably where you can get the closest to the golf. That's going to be a big intersection. So I bet it's swarmed with people, but there's just going to be a lot of like auditory noise there. So that there just might be action. I think by the time the first group, gets through, or by the time the last group gets through on 5, the first group probably getting close to coming down 12. So you might be able to. I don't know about that. You don't think you could whiplash
singles?
There?
Yes, for Sunday.
For Sunday, okay,
yeah,
good point. Yeah. And then I would say my favorite spot, and this is where I think this was 3 on Shane's list, but I think it's fantastic. Is what do I have here? Behind the grandstand behind 11. So if you can get up high there, you can watch the action on 11. You can watch the green on 9 very easily. It's right there. And then you can watch tee shots on 11 and tee shots coming off of 12. So that grandstand on 11 is a good spot. That's where the course kind of circles around itself and then starts heading back home. So that little intersection, and it's at the far end of the property. I think if you get out there early, then you can work your way back slowly and you feel like you saw a lot of the course. You didn't get stuck up in the the BQE with all the Club Magenta stuff. Like I would say get out to the back of the property as quick as you can.
Neil, and you said you'll be doing office hours. Like if anybody wants to come talk some shit with you, they can.
Yeah, you want to come talk some shit? Maybe I'd say I'm thinking 11, or I'm honestly tomorrow I'm thinking 8. I kind of think par 3s are a good spot to watch matches, and I think 8's like that's kind of the thick of the round. Like you can watch some things happen back there between 8 and 9.
Okay, and then will you be dressed up as like a 1920s? Guy. It seems like that's kind of the theme of the week.
Would have been a good week for.
They're trying to make those gin tunes work. The Roaring 20s with those videos. They're almost trying to work every bit of like New York thing into some part of this. I mean, they're really leaning into the city vibe, but I don't really feel like we're in New York.
And it's not the city. It's
No,
like
it's not.
really weird.
Very different. Very, very different.
Anything else you guys have before we wrap? It has been a long build up into all of this, and I am filled with a ton of mystery and intrigue as to what's actually going to happen tomorrow. But I know it's going to be exciting.
I have it's a third-hand report to me that Harris might be indeed flushing it. This is from a source that I trust, who it would be secondhand for this source, but I have received that text.
So you're getting it. So you're third hand. We're getting it third hand from you.
Right. Neil, if there's going to be a situation where power rank, where that situation's going to occur.
What kind of situation?
A situation.
The situation. By the way, speaking of the situation, do you see the picture with Goddard in the situation? We're hanging out together at the Rutgers game.
I think, Randy, you know what? I'd say 6 because people get pretty close there. But I think actually 14, that par 3, before they come back across to 15. There's a big grandstand behind 14. I could see some, and that's right by there's some pouring stops, some pouring houses, as they're calling the beer stands. And there's a lot of concessions in that little spot. There's going to be a ton of people around 14. So I would say that's probably where the sparks could fly.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Sally, I'm cautiously optimistic on the broadcast, at least in the production quality. Sounds like it's going to be, with it being a home Ryder Cup, not far from the Comcastic, NBC Universal Studios in Stamford. I feel like they're going to have a lot more bells and whistles and a lot more cameras out there, a lot more manpower out there than they did in Rome. I'm also intrigued by these partisan streams they're doing. It seems like they're really leaning into, all right, if you want to watch Sky, or like this Sky stream that we're going to offer you, it is going to be wildly European partisan. And the main one is going to be wildly US partisan. It seems like they're even breaking some of the announcer teams up into that as well. So we'll see on the actual commercial load and flow of the broadcast as well. But
we know.
We'll see what happens.
It's going to be heavy.
We know. We know. We will be on the first shuttle out of here. DT will be making an appearance tomorrow afternoon. Of course, Secret Service is taking over security of the entire place as of midnight tonight. Apparently a ton of searching cars, and security for tomorrow I don't know if that means
Neil.
I don't know about people getting in the gates
I'm not.
late. But,
I think they'll probably drop the chopper down at the Blade stop out by the Rayos Crypto.com $10,000 a seat collab restaurant out back behind 16 by the polo field.
What a sentence that was.
Yeah, that's a true. That was all a true.
How many
statement.
blades are going back and forth?
I haven't seen any taken off, but it said big signs like Blade. Like,
was the weather
Blade
too
stop.
bad today? Or they didn't want to fly in the fog? Or
I just don't think the heavy hitters want to come to the practice round.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. So, all right, that is going to wrap us. We will be back live shortly after play concludes tomorrow. Going to give me a little bit of time to get back to the hotel. You guys will probably start the show without me, without the commute. Neil's going to be working on a few things. We'll count on an energy moment from him coming in the coming nights as well.
Fucking count on that, Randy.
Big shout out to our friends at FanDuel, Roback, and BMW. Thanks everyone for tuning in, helping us get hyped for one of our favorite weeks of the year, if not one of the best. And be a lot of action right from the jump. I'll be out following that first match probably. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to bring you the heat all week long. Crack on. Cheers.
Hey, thanks again to Rory Tracker for mentioning me and tweeting on our video as well. I got just my replies are just a cesspool.
FanDuel, the official sports book of No Laying Up, must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. Gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327
for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.